Hi guys, and welcome back to Discover the Good Life. Hope you're all doing well. What I want to talk to you guys today about is, tracking and making sure you get great results from your DMOs in your network marketing business. Now, what is a DMO? First of all, DMO stands for Daily Method of Operation. So basically something that you're doing in your business on a daily basis to get results that you want out of your network marketing business. And, I've been doing this from the very first day that I got involved in network marketing. I used to fill in what we call gauge sheets. You probably know what that is. If you don't know what that is, work closely with your mentor sponsor. It's basically a tracking sheet of basically knowing the results that you're getting from each method that you are implementing in your network marketing business. So, it doesn't matter what the method is, obviously with today's technology, we've got social media, we've got Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, all these wonderful tools that speed up the process of talking to more people in a shorter period of time. But back in the day when I first started, all that stuff was fairly new, especially Facebook was still fairly new at the time. There was no TikTok, no Snapchat, not even Instagram when I got started. And basically we had to do things that generated the leads for us to talk to people on a daily basis, whether it was running ads in newspapers, doing flyers in letterboxes, doing surveys in the streets, doing whatever it took to basically generate enough names and numbers on a daily basis for us to talk to more people about our wonderful products or wonderful business opportunity in our network marketing company. Now, if you haven't tuned into my podcast before or YouTube and this is your first time, be sure to share it with family, friends, hit the like buttons, do whatever it takes to share the word, because what we want to do is help more network marketers become successful in the network marketing industry. There's no doubt about it. We are the best industry in the world, network marketing. It gives the average person the above average chance to become successful in life. So coming back to our topic of DMOs today, when I first started, my mentor said, fill in your gauge sheets, record your results on a daily basis. It does two things. It keeps you accountable to yourself, it keeps you honest to yourself, but it also keeps you accountable to your mentor sponsor, because you have to report back to them with these results that you have to actually do the work, that you can't say this isn't working for me, and actually the numbers never lie on a gauge sheet. And that is the power of your daily method of operation and tracking it on a gauge sheet. So basically a gauge sheet, it sort of broke down the results for each method. So for example, when I first started, flyers was one of my methods because I couldn't afford to do much. I was broke. And, I knew I did X amount of flyers per day, say 500 flyers per day. From the 500 flyers per day, I got one phone call, an inquiry about the products or the business. And from that one phone call, what would happen? Okay, so it's basically knowing your numbers, and I want you to write that down. That's really, really key in becoming successful in network marketing, because if you don't know what your conversions are, how do you actually know how many people to talk to on a daily basis to get the results that you want to get in your network marketing business? So, if I was doing 500 flyers a day as an example of what I was doing in the beginning, 500 flyers a day, 5 days a week, that's 2,000 flyers a week. Out of the 2,000 flyers a week, I was getting on average about 5 phone calls per 2,000 flyers, okay? And out of the 2,000 flyers, I would get at least one sale. So 1 in 5 people would actually buy the product or service that I was providing when I first started. So I started to see these numbers, and these numbers became very, very important for the growth of my business. So once I knew I was converting 1 in 5 people, that means if I wanted 2 people a week in sales, all I had to do was double my activity. Okay, so the importance of your daily method of operation is knowing your numbers. But what's really important is to do this for 90 consecutive days. It's what we call a 90-day plan. And this is where people tend to trip up with what they're doing on a daily basis. You know, first of all, they don't have a clear method of what methods they are doing in their business. Then they don't see the results as quickly, so they end up quitting before the results actually kick in. Okay, and it's what we call a 90-day plan. And the reason we say work your methods for 90 days is because 90 days gives you the average results of each of these methods. So knowing that I was doing flyers as one of my methods, if I was doing 2,000 a week, that's 8,000 flyers a month. That's in 90 days, which is 3 months, that's 24,000 flyers in the 90 days. Okay. Now, if I knew I was getting 1 sale a week minimum, that means I should have got 12 sales minimum over the 90-day period. Okay. So once I started to know my numbers, then it was just mathematics after that, where I sat down and said, okay, so if I want to make X amount of dollars per month just from retailing the product or service that I was providing, this is how much activity I actually need to do. Okay, so what we actually recommend you do with your daily method of operation is not depend on one method either. We always recommend to have at least 3 methods for retailing your product or service and 3 methods for recruiting new team members into your organization. So by having the 3 methods, doesn't matter what the methods are, flyers, surveys, social media, newspaper ads, talking to people in the street, whatever it is, everything works, guys. The reality is everything works. What's important with the daily method of operation is finding out what works for you. Reason I emphasize on that is we are all different individuals. What works for me might not work for you. What works for you might not work for me, because we are different characters, we have different skill sets, and what we need to do is find out what your skill set is so that you can implement it into your network marketing business. And you do that for the period of 90 days, and then after the 90 days is complete, you then review it. And if you're getting good results from some areas but not getting good results from other areas, get rid of the ones that aren't working after 90 days and implement a new method. So you've chosen 3 methods for retail, 3 methods for recruiting. Let's say only 1 method worked well for retail and 2 didn't. Get rid of the 2 after 90 days and implement another 2 different methods. Okay? And do that for another 90 days. And the importance of this is you will, as you go through your 90-day plans consecutively, you will eventually find the 3 methods that work very well for you in retail and 3 methods that work very well for you in recruiting. Now, if you want to speed up the process, there's nothing stopping you from doing 4, 5, 6, 10 methods for retail and 10 methods for recruiting. It's up to you. Depending on how fast you want the results, how serious you are about wanting to build this business, doing whatever it takes to make sure you build momentum into your network marketing business. So for me personally, you know, a lot of you probably heard my story from previous podcasts or videos. I was in $1 million debt. I had to make this thing work. I wasn't employable because I've been self-employed all my life. Nobody would take me on. So for myself, you know, I had to find the methods that work really quickly. So I actually implemented 5 methods for retail, 5 methods for recruiting in my very first stages of my business. And I was able to get my business to making $5,000 a month within 8 months of being in the business. Now, with today's technology in that, by the way, you can do it a lot faster than I did. This is the days when Facebook was still a new thing in the marketplace. So I implemented those methods. I saw the results of what was working. I knew what I needed to do to increase my results. And then about a year into the business, my wife, who was a nurse by profession at the time, she decided that she wanted to join me full-time in the business. Now, I was quite nervous about that, honestly, because even though I was making $5,000 a month with my network marketing business, because of the debt of my previous business, I was $1 million in debt. I had $10,000 a month worth of expenses. So I was making $5,000 a month for my network marketing business. My wife was a nurse, as I mentioned, and she was making $2,000 or $3,000 a month working full-time as a nurse. And, you know, I was nervous if she left that, how we were gonna survive. But lucky, we had our gauge sheets, our daily methods of operations that were working, and we just looked at the numbers and we said, okay, the first step is to compensate what my wife was earning as a full-time nurse. So we sat down, we looked at the numbers together, and we increased our activity so that we can at least match her income on top of the income we were making with our network marketing business. And by implementing the extra activity, so we increased our numbers. Instead of doing 500 flyers a day, we did 1,000 flyers a day. Instead of doing 20 surveys a day, we did 40 surveys a day. We increased our activity. We virtually doubled our numbers in everything that was working for us so that we can at least compensate her wage. And I promise you guys, this is without any joke, within 3 days of implementing the new 90-day plan with the increased activity, with my wife joining me full-time into the business, well, actually before she even joined me full-time, so within 3 days, we made what she makes in a whole month with her full-time job. And we got excited about that because we knew focused, we knew we were on the right track, we were heading in the right direction, and then we just kept building that momentum. And we built our business within the following 90 days. We got to $10,000 a month just by retailing the product, by the way, not including our royalty income. So now we were starting to pay our debt, my debts off from my previous business. You know, we're starting to put some food on the table and, you know, got a roof over our head again and all that kind of stuff. And just kept pouring it on. So this is the importance of being very clear on your DMOs, your daily methods of operation, and working it consistently for a 90-day period. Now, you're probably saying, well, why 90 days? I mean, how accurate is this 90-day plan? And you hear this a lot, no matter which network marketing company you're involved in. You'll hear about a 90-day plan. And a 90-day plan is a 1-day plan done for 90 consecutive days. And the reason you do it for 90 days is, you know, I always relate it back to cartoons. I love watching cartoons till now. You know, I'm nearly 50 years old and I still love watching cartoons. And when I was a little kid, I remember watching Bugs Bunny, And one of the cartoon episodes was they roll a small snowball from the top of the mountain, and then that snowball becomes bigger and bigger and bigger as it's rolling down the mountain, and it eventually becomes this huge snowball just steaming down the mountain. And it's the same thing through your daily methods of operation, your 90-day plan. The first 30 days of your 90-day plan, you might find the results are not so good. Okay, now you might be making a few sales here, recruiting a few distributors here and there, and you might feel like, gee, I'm really putting all this time and effort into my business, but the results are just not happening. Okay, I want you to write this down. It's what we call delayed gratification. You don't see the true results right now. The results of the work you are doing today, you are going to see it in 90 days time from now. Okay, so the first month it feels like this is not worth it. The second month comes along, you keep doing the same thing, you keep pouring it on, you make sure you're listening to personal development on a daily basis, as my previous episode spoke about, working harder on yourself than you do on your job, keeping the right attitude, keeping the focus, having clarity in your mind that it will happen for you, and it will. Within the next 30 days, which is your 60-day period, you start to see some good results. And this is where you start to feel like this is worth it stage, okay? I'm starting to make some good cash flow. I'm building a royalty income. I'm developing team members. Your team members are starting to duplicate what you are doing, getting more customers, getting more distributors in your organization. And then comes the last 30 days of your 90-day plan. Then you see the true results, and momentum's really kicked in now. It's like having the foot on the gas. The car's going at 100 miles an hour. You're getting the results. You're getting customers like crazy. You're getting distributors like crazy. And this is building your business. Now, why is this very important that you are following this 90-day plan and tracking your results on your gate sheet for your daily methods of operation? The importance of this is so that as you recruit more team members into your business, you can share your stats with them so that they can get off to a fast start in their network marketing business. So it was very easy for me when I started. I said, hey, this is all I'm doing, guys. I'm doing 500 flyers or 1,000 flyers a day for the products. This is the kind of result I'm getting. This is how many surveys a day I'm doing. This is what kind of result I'm getting. This is the ads I'm running in my paper. All the numbers were written down so that I can clearly show them that this is the results I got from implementing a 90-day plan and tracking it on a gate sheet. So getting clear on your daily methods of operation, the methods, doing the methods is really important. Now, what I believe in this business is it's important to do methods that you are comfortable with and methods that you're not so comfortable with. And the reason I believe you need to do both is as your organization grows and develops, there might be someone who joins your business who's very casual or part-time. And if you're only doing methods that take time, how do you teach them to do methods that don't take much time? So you need that balance of having methods that you can do that take time and methods that don't take time, so that when you recruit people who don't have time, you say, no problem, these are the things you can do if you don't have time, and this is what my results were, and try doing that. If they have time but don't have money, you say, no problem, these are the methods that I was doing when I was broke, doing flyers and what have you. This is the results I got, and this is how many I was doing per day. So once you've got those numbers in front of you, the clarity is there. But really important that you make yourself accountable to someone, whether it's your upline, sideline, it doesn't really matter. It's important that you make yourself accountable to someone by saying, hey, let's work together. I want to send you my results on a weekly basis. If you want to do the same, you can send me your results on a weekly basis and we'll bounce off each other and help each other to grow into the business. And that is exactly what I was doing. Every Friday, I was submitting my results to my mentor sponsor. And, they would look at the results and say, okay, fantastic. Now, we're noticing that you're talking to a lot of people in this method, but you're not converting as much. So then the questions would be asked. What are you saying? How are you saying it? What is your posture? What is your attitude? Are you smiling while you're talking on the phone? People can sense and feel what you're saying over the phone. So to help me fine tune and tweak areas that I wasn't very good at. And that's what you got to do in your network marketing business. So guys, I hope you got a lot out of that. If you like what I shared today, make sure you press the like button, share it with other people. And I'll look forward to seeing you in the next podcast. Bye for now.